we're changing the way we do things.
Recycle Everywhere giving away cash and prizes to get Manitobans to properly discard their bottles. Now, by throwing my empty beverage container in the blue bin, I'm also giving myself a chance to win $25,000.
This is the Recycle Everywhere app. You just need to take a photo of the bin. It asks you to continue by scanning the barcode on the container. So we have a barcode here. So it tells me that I have one eligible ballot and it goes directly into each of the contests.
So adding another incentive for people to recycle, we thought was a great way of creating excitement and rewarding people.
The prizes range from $100,000 to $25,000 and include gift cards to local businesses hard hit by the pandemic. Manitoba's beverage container recycling rate has remained stagnant, around 70% for the past 4 years, after boasting the biggest increase in North America in the first 6 years of the program. The organization behind Recycle Everywhere hopes this new initiative will bring them closer to the government-mandated target of 75%.
Manitobans have done their part, and even so, we know we can do better.
And although the pandemic remains top of mind for many, Friesen says recycling cannot be forgotten and can actually help our mental health.
We need to continue doing all kinds of things in our daily lives and can't stop doing them because of the pandemic. We need to keep caring for other people. We need to keep caring for the environment and the places we live in.
In Winnipeg, Stephanie Lasuk, City News.